Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to the show. My name is Mike. You can catch me on Twitch at stillnfac, that's one word, and you can catch me on YouTube at notfooling, that's two words. This is the 1987 Ferrari F40. It's an S900 build. It's my personal tune, the one that I'm using. The share code for this tune is 248330932. I'm going to take you through all the upgrades. I'm going to take you through all the custom tuning, and then I'm going to take it for a drive. So we'll start with the conversions. This is the stock engine with the stock rear-wheel drive drivetrain. So it's a mid-engine rear-wheel drive build at S900. The front aero is stock. It's the slick race tire compound, 285 fronts, 375 rears, stock rim style, stock front and rear rim size, the stock front track width, and the fully upgraded rear track width. Running the race clutch with the race transmission, which is a 6-speed race transmission, the race driveline with the race differential. We've got the stock brakes, the race spring and dampers, the front and rear anti-roll bars, the full roll cage chassis reinforcement with the race weight reduction. Into the engine upgrades, we've got the race intake, the race fuel system, the race ignition, the race exhaust, the stock cams and valves, the race valves, the race engine block with the race pistons, the race twin turbo, the stock intercooler, stock oil and cooling with the stock flywheel. And that should put you right at S900, 704 horsepower, 624 foot-pounds of torque. The car weighs 2,766 pounds with 43% of the weight on the front of the car. The displacement's 3.4. It runs 2.950 to 60, 5.760 to 100 with a top speed of 229. More importantly, though, the lateral G's at 60 is 132 and at 120 is 145. I used the least tire compound that works for me. So if I'm driving it and I can get away with the stock tire compound, then that's what I'll use. And then if I can't, I'll upgrade it from there. And I want to use the least compound as possible to, to use more engine. But for this car, for whatever reason, it needed semi-slicks. I mean, no, it needed the full race slicks. I almost never used the full race slicks. I was surprised at S900 that I actually needed to go to full slicks, but yeah, this car does not work on the semi-slicks. So basically what you'll see what I see when I'm tuning a lot is I check the lateral G's a lot when I'm tuning, and you'll find with the slicks and the semi-slicks, they actually have the same lateral G's. The full slicks are better for like acceleration and braking, I suppose, but they actually don't give you an advantage turning, which is why I try to stick with semi-slicks. At least that's the theory from the data that I see. So if you check when you're tuning, or next time you're tuning or whatever, you'll see the lateral G's will change from one tire to the next, but they don't change from semi-slicks to full slicks. So that's why I try to keep semi-slicks as my full upgrade option, but for this build, we had to go full slicks, and yeah, you're exactly right. If the slicks hit the dirt, you're fucked. That's the theory behind that, at least. Let's move into custom tuning. Is 28 psi front, 27 psi rear. 220 is the final drive ratio. 414 first gear, 267 second gear. Third gear is adjusted to 2.03. Fourth gear is adjusted to 1.64. Fifth gear is adjusted to 1.34. And 6 gears 1.14. The alignment is -2, -0.5007 degrees. Anti-roll bars 27, 37. Springs 616 in the front, 816.7 in the back. The ride height's 5'8 and 5'8. Damping's 8.6 in the front, 11.4 in the back, 4.37.2. Now, how I came up with all these numbers for the anti-roll bars and the springs and the damping, the ride height, I'm trying to get the car riding level, and the anti-roll bars, springs, and damping are all adjusted to 43% towards the front, and 57% from the rear. So that's how we get there. And I'll adjust off of that. This car works perfectly there. So I didn't need to adjust off of those numbers. And for the damping, so it's 43% for the front, 57% for the rear, and then 50% of those numbers for the stiffness, for the bump stiffness. So the rebound is 43, 57, which matches the weight distribution of the car, and then the bump is 50% of those numbers, 8.6 to 4.3, 11.4 to 7.2. And that's, where I like it. You can adjust off of that. The arrow is untouched, the brake's untouched, the differential, I adjusted both. So what I do here when I'm tuning the differentials, so if I'm coming around a turn and I want to get back onto the throttle, full blast, yeah? And the differential's too high, you get into the throttle, you pull on it coming out of a turn, and your tires start spinning and you go sideways. I see if you come off the acceleration on the differential a little bit, you can get into the throttle much harder without spinning it out. So that's where I adjusted the acceleration down. And the deceleration is off the throttle when you're trying to take those sweeping turns. If you can't make it, then you adjust your deceleration down a little bit so the tires will spin differently off throttle. So that's how we came up with 2129. I tested this at Horizon Mexico Circuit. It works great. Share code for this tune is 248-330-932. Use downforce, the slicks will usually get you a tenth or two better lateral. Really? I've never checked that way. I normally just check from the beginning, when you're adjusting it, but I'll definitely look into that. I appreciate that. Yeah, because you would think they have more grip. They need to make up for it somewhere. It needs to be shown somewhere, and you would expect it to be shown in the lateral G's. I haven't checked that, like max downforce on the semi slicks versus max downforce compared to the full slicks, but that's something to definitely check out. I appreciate that. Yeah, I hadn't noticed that yet. But yeah, this car is one of the cars that simply doesn't work on semi slicks. You have to run full slicks on this car. So anyways, let's get into some racing. I actually have a rivals to go race against, so let's see if I can go ahead and do that. We'll do that on the video. The rivals that I was challenged to is, let's see, it's right here, rivals mode. We're going to go to my rivals, and Marlon challenged me here, and he beat me. He gapped me by 0.667. So let's see if we can take back the rival race against Marlon live on the air. So what I did there for the launch, I'm driving an automatic. I got on the throttle hard, and then I stepped off it real quick and then got back on it again. Now, if you hadn't adjusted your differential down in the acceleration, you probably would have spun the tires a lot more than I did. So this is a rivals race, so I will not be able to rewind, will not be able to hit anything. Damn, I almost fucked that one up. This section right here always makes me nervous, going through this train tracks with the pillars, not pillars, but like posts you have to dodge while speeding fucking 150 miles an hour through the fucking turns. Always makes me nervous. But I nailed it right there, huh? Can't tell how far behind Marlon is, but I assume he's right on my ass. Just because you can't see him on the map doesn't mean he's not right behind me. I'm betting he's sitting just behind me because I'm not doing anything different than I did last time, and he beat me last time, so he's probably going to catch me on a straight or something, so I need to make sure I don't let off the hammer here and try to keep in the lead, or I will lose this race. Oh, shit. There he is, the son of a bitch. I love uphill turns like that. Even though they're red, you don't have to get on the brake because you know that you're slowing down naturally. This car just handles so beautifully. I mean, it's really well done. I think the biggest change to my tuning game was understanding how to adjust differentials, man. Since I've started adjusting the differentials with a purpose, not just fucking with them to see what happens, since I started adjusting the differentials and realizing how they change turning radiuses and stuff like that, man, it's completely changed my game. I mean, because I drive thousands of laps at Mexico Circuit, so I mean, literally, once I drive a car there a few times, I can figure out, if it's close to making the turns, a certain turn, I'll be like, okay, we're not able to hit that turn because of the differentials, and then, you know, I can okay, we need to take 5 degrees or 5% off, or 2% off, or 1%, or know that we're getting close to it and start adjusting it. And sometimes it's just a change of 1 or 2% that really is the difference between making a sweeping turn or hitting a wall at speed on a sweeping turn. So, or spinning out, coming out of a sharp turn where you have to get off the throttle completely and stop, and then get back on the throttle a lot. It makes a huge difference, especially in rear-wheel drive, how much torque is put to those back wheels. So I try to make it so that full throttle coming out of a hardly stopped, almost completely stopped, what do you call it, hairpin, full throttle out of a hairpin. Want to be able to do that, get on the throttle full as possible, and you can do that by adjusting the acceleration differentials. I mean, every car is different, and different power levels would act differently, but that's the thing that I think has changed my tuning game the most recently. Before that, it was using weight distributions to tune suspension aspects and stuff like that. Oh, no, 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 no. I got a little nervous there. Man, hate to do fucking 70% of a race and then hit a tree and have to fucking restart it. And obviously, I can't look down at the chat. I'm sure there's some chat. I'll have to catch up on that once I get out of the race. Too much at stake here to look down. I got to put the pressure back on Marlon, make him get back in his car and come and set a new time for me to try and challenge. Didn't take him long to beat my last challenge sent. I sent it like late last night. This morning he's already got it beat, so I'm sure he'll send another one in the F40 as well. I love this build. I love this map. Look how sexy this fucking map is right here. That's awesome. It's amazing. One thing to remember is coming out of this second tunnel here, it's a sharp right, so you need to brake here. Don't brake there, you will go into those trees, and you can't see the line change to red because the light is shining. Just remember, coming out of that last tunnel, there's a left that you will not hit at full speed. You will go into trees. Oh shit! Oh shit, there we go. I'm gonna keep my concentration going. We're so close to the end of the race. Hate to foul up the lap by hitting something at this point in the race. Oh no! Alright, I'm gonna stop talking. Getting nervous. We're so close to the end. What's up, donkey? Alright everybody, my name is Mike. You can catch me on Twitch at stillnfac, that's one word, and on YouTube at notfooling, aroundcrew, that's 2 words. This is my 1987 Ferrari F40 tune. It's an s900 build with 704 horsepower, 624 foot-pounds of torque. It runs 0 to 60 in 2.950 seconds, 0 to 100 5.760, with a top speed of 229, lateral G's 132 at 60, 145 at 120. The share code for this tune is 248330932, and if you want to run my rival's time, you can see it right there. It's 12:37.007. So thanks for watching, everybody. My name is Mike, and I'm out.